Hey guys, this video is going to deal with transforming the cube root function. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the cube root function y equals a times the cube root x minus h plus k. Now you've seen this several times in several different examples. However, for the cube root, I think it's best to try to use the pattern of how the points are manipulated on our graph and then apply our function to it. Okay, so this point right here is the point in the center, the point of, we'll call it somewhat symmetrical, the point where it turns. You can call it the vertex, I guess, if you want. But this is the point where we're going to have h and k. So if we can figure out that point based on wherever we're trying to move our function to, then we will have the ability to write our cubic function. Now let's take a look at the patterns of the cubic function. So from the center, it shows we go to the right 1 and up 1. And then the next one we go to the right 8, up 2. Now if we go backwards, if we go to the left, we go to the left 1 and then down 1. And then to the left 8, down 2. So this is basically the pattern that we're going to use in order to get our cubic function. Now what we're going to do is suppose you have this point right here. That point looks like it is 15, 5, 10, 15, and then down -5. And so I want to have a portion of my roller coaster be a cubic function from 15, -5, and then get closer to my origin. So that not only means I want to come to the left with it, I also maybe want to go up. I'll do a second video to show a different transformation, but for this case, we'll take this function right here and we'll move it down to be able to use this point and connect to something else. Maybe we have a bit of a square root style function or a part of a quadratic that we want to connect to right here, and we want to bring it to the left. So if I was to use this pattern, I would say that from this point I could move over 8 down 2, and this point right here is my center. Over 8 and then down 2 would be my center. This point here looks like 7, and then looks like -7. That was convenient. And then in order to continue moving to the right, I would need to go over 1, down 1. I meant to the left, excuse me. And then over here, maybe go over 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, down 2. And from this center, I need to go up 1, over 1. So this here is a cubic function that passes through this point, 15, -5. And I found my center because I know my pattern. That tells me that my function, since I use the same pattern, a equals 1. A equals 1 if you use this pattern. So y equals the cube root of x minus 7, and then k is a -7 as well. This is the function for that cube root function.